Yo, what's good YouTube? Zamcrow here, aka Scoot, back with a Dragon Ball discussion today. We're going to be talking about Vegito, my favorite character, and there's been a lot of discussion in the community lately just about, you know, not in just terms of who he is or whatever, but in terms of how strong he is, and they're comparing him to a lot of characters, and they're saying he's this, they're saying he's that. Well, clearing the air, Vegito is the strongest character, um, the strongest mortal. Period. Like when he is around, he is the strongest mortal. Period. That's why he was created. Toriyama was sitting there. He was like, okay, what am I gonna do to defeat this Majin Buu character? What can I do? How can I get Vegeta and Goku the spotlight at the same time? And he was like, okay, his mind blew, and he was like, okay, I'm gonna have the alpha of alphas, and I'm gonna have Goku and Vegeta take their bodies and fuse them into one, and make this character called Vegito or Vegeta. But yeah, so Vegito was created to mollywop whatever the strongest character at the time was. So when he was first introduced in, I think, like chapter 505 or 506 of the original manga, or like episode close to the late 200s or something like that, late 300s or something, of the Dragon Ball anime, the original series, you see that Majin Buu, Super Buu, Buhan, Majin Buu with Gohan absorbed after, he fought Gohan and then absorbed him, wore his clothes like Goku wears, and then he was mollywopping everybody. He was getting ready to mollywop Goku, was getting ready to mollywop Vegeta. Goku convinced Vegeta to fuse with him, and then they created this monster being here who he himself, Vegito himself, when he fused, he was, in the manga, he stated that he was pretty surprised about being as powerful as he was, when Buu stated that, or no, Vegito stated that he was stronger than Buu, and said he was actually surprised by it too. And the old Kai actually states that, he's so strong that he wouldn't even take the fight serious. And then, he shows, a few feats throughout the show. First of all, he mollywops Buhan, and in the anime he does it in base as well. But in the manga, in the original manga, he goes, straight Super Saiyan and mollywops Buu from there. The cool thing is that while he's fighting Buu, he confidently says that he could more than likely, actually he confidently says it, so he's most certainly saying that he could defeat Buu without the use of his hands, with just his legs. Says he could do that. And not to mention about Buhan specifically, he is Majin Buu, with the strongest form of Gohan absorbed, and that Gohan was stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So that just gives you how strong, tells you how strong Buhan is, and he was going to mop Super Saiyan 3 Goku as well, and any form or any variant of Vegeta, I should say. But it gets mollywopped by Vegito. He shows all kinds of cool techniques, especially the Spirit Sword, and he was able to overpower Majin Buu's candy beam, and was able to avoid being absorbed thanks to his barrier. So eventually he does defuse whatever. Oh yeah, he does have this cool feat where Majin Buu is breaking the dimensional fabric, just screaming and shouting in anger. He's breaking the fabric of dimensions and stuff. Vegito decides it's time to put a stop to this, and penetrates the barrier of energy that Buhan is releasing, and punches Buu one time, one punch, literally one punch, and ends that. It stops it right there, and then, goes on to mop Buhan, like I mentioned. So then, like, fusion was stated to be permanent, but it wasn't. And then in Super, they reintroduced Dragon Ball Super, or they reintroduced Vegito to us, which was amazing, huge fan service. And Vegito is my favorite character outside of Vegeta. If he was a main character or like a more recurring character, he would definitely be my favorite. His design is sick, and he's enormously powerful. But yeah, he returns in Super in the fight versus Merge Zamasu, where Goku and Vegeta, they're down to their last hopes, And Merge Zamasu is a first of all, he's Goku Black times Zamasu. That's what the Daizenshu says, I think. I think that's which one it is. Anyways, A times B is what the Patara fusion is. How about that Tapara? Anyways, so Merge Zamasu used Patara fusion as well. He is Goku Black, and Zamasu fused in Goku Black. You know, he had reached divine Super Saiyan powers. Zamasu is a Supreme Kai in training, and he was he wished for immortality and was a prodigy martial artist anyway. Fuse that with Goku Black, then you have this monster, Merge Zamasu, who is literally able to like join with the universe itself. And Vegito mollywopped him in the manga. Like it was bad. Like it was really bad. He shows up, blows like Zamasu's this side of his arm off, and then goes on to just beat him down with some punches, real bad punches, and basically tells him it's over. From the get go. Fires a final Kamehameha wave at him, defuses, and then that's the end of that. In the anime, we get a little bit different. We get a little back and forth fight. It's really cool seeing. And then Vegito does it again. He does the final Kamehameha wave. Merge Zamasu, he eats the hit and he's going up into the sky. Vegito goes up and bops him and defuses there too, and then gets bopped. But he was able to fight Merge Zamasu, equally, or maybe with a small advantage in the anime. Was able to mop him in the manga. This guy is insanely powerful. Now people are comparing him to Kefla, God of Destruction Toppo, Ultra Instinct phases, Vegito Blue Evolution, and that's fair to an extent, but it's unfair to an extent as well, because people are comparing him and saying, Future Trunks Saga Vegito couldn't beat, Tournament of Power Saga so-and-so. That's unfair. You need to use the Tournament of Power Saga character of Vegito, hypothetical Vegito from the Tournament of Power, and then compare that kind of power to God of Destruction Toppo, Super Saiyan 2 Kefla, the Ultra Instinct Omen phases and things like that, and Jiren and such, so on and so forth. I think Vegito mops everybody. I don't think anybody competes with Vegito. When Vegito is there, he's the alpha of alphas, like I was mentioning, and that's like mostly what this entire video is about. Is just explaining that Vegito was created to be the alpha of alphas. There's no comparison. You shouldn't be comparing this guy. The Supreme Kai compared it like in the manga when he went Super. I don't know if he was. Yeah, I think he was already Super Saiyan Blue, and he was charging up the final Kamehameha wave. And Supreme Kai actually said, I think he was questioning himself and said, could it be that Vegito is already stronger than Beerus? And that right there, and now I know the anime and the manga are different continuities, but they're from the same lore. Like, that's common sense. I think that's common sense anyway. So what I was getting to was if Beerus. If the Supreme Kai thinks that Vegito Blue is stronger than Beerus in the manga during the Future Trunks arc, and Mastered Ultra Instinct Goku was confirmed to be stronger, as strong as roughly, in the same category, Phase 3, that is, Phase 3 of the Omen, was, considered to be roughly around the same as Beerus. So, if Phase 3 Ultra Instinct Goku is around Beerus and Vegito is above Beerus from the Future Trunks saga, then he's still competing. If you don't get angry comparing the anime and the manga, then you can juggle these and get some kind of answer, come to a conclusion using both continuities, and that's what I'm doing. And I've come to the conclusion that Vegito, if he was stronger than Beerus back then in the Future Trunks saga, then in the Tournament of Power saga, Phase 3 Ultra Instinct Goku, comparing to Beerus, if he's comparable to Beerus still, and Vegito was stronger than him way back then Vegito would be, stronger or comparable to Ultra Instinct Phase 3 Goku, which would make him comparable to Jiren, which would make him mollywop God of Destruction Toppo, Super Saiyan 2 K-Fla, Vegito Blue Evolution, all these things, Vegito Blue mops them, in my opinion. I mean, it's debatable. You can just leave your thoughts in the in the comment section down below, obviously. But yeah, that's basically what this video was made for, was to just kind of, not really, I guess I just wanted to drop my opinion, really, and what my thoughts are. Like, Vegito is my favorite character. Like I mentioned, he's not around enough to say, put him #1 on my list. But when he is around, he's by far the coolest character of all time. Obviously, Vegeta is my favorite character. Anyways, what do you think about Vegito Blue? How strong is he? Who do you compare him to? Like, how do you power scale him? I think base Vegito is a fucking a lord of lords, not literally a supreme guy, but I do think he is a he's a mollywhopper. That's what he was created for. I'm telling you, it really was. And like the fact that Goku can tap into Ultra Instinct, not at will, but the fact that he can, and that Vegeta has a blue evolution now, that just means Vegito would be even that much stronger. Not to mention, we've never even seen him use Kaioken or to power up to an extent to where it looked like he was in a position where he needed to power up more and more and more to make it an even fight. He's always been someone that's just there mollywhopping somebody, or somebody that's having an even fight like he did with Zamasu in the anime. Otherwise, all the other fights he's ever had were plain mollywhops. He fought Boo in the manga and in the anime, both mollywhops. He fought Zamasu in the manga, and it was a mollywhop, and he fought him in the anime, and it was a little bit more, I'd give the advantage to Vegito there as well. But yeah, Goku and Vegeta fusion is the greatest thing ever, and their power, they're Super Saiyans. They're not to be trifled with. Their biology is insane, and just seeing what they can do with furthering their God Key training, and furthering their mastering of self movement, things like that. Goku and Vegeta are going to be absolute monsters, which means Vegito will always be an absolute monster. Now, they do have a 1 hour time limit that was retconned on their Potara fusion, and I think obviously Super Saiyan Blue and the final Kamehameha wave really neutered it even more. But I do think if they stayed in their base, that they would be able to keep the full 1 hour. And I think base Vegito, or maybe even like Super Saiyan or Super Saiyan 2 Vegito, would be more than enough to keep up with, just about any characters, a current Super Saiyan Vegito, or base Vegito at that even. He's just so strong, man, I'm telling you. And now, like, after they've had their Zenkai boost, after the Tournament of Power, he's just that much more stronger, in my opinion. But yeah, that's going to be it. Let me know what you think about Vegito Blue. How strong is he? Compare him. I want to see these comparisons. Phase 3 Ultra Instinct Goku, the Omen, and I want to see comparisons with Jiren, full power Jiren, not awakened, but just regular full power Jiren. God of Destruction Toppo, Super Saiyan 2 K-Fla, and Beerus. But yeah, leave it in the comment section down below, and leave a like, comment, subscribe, all the good stuff, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching.